here. Coach, if you would, just start us off with a quick statement about the win, and then we'll go to questions.
Could not be more proud of this group of young men. Credit to the team that we just played, and really, really, really good team that we just played. We knew that. We talked about it early in the week. You look at just their schedule and how they've played every top team in the conference down to the wire and overtime games. I mean, it's been very similar from a story. But I could not be more proud of the young men in that locker room in the black and gold, and I couldn't be more proud of the seniors and them just continue to fight every single second of that game. And I couldn't be more proud of those guys. So, but with that being said, I'll open it up.
Coach, firstly, congratulations.
Thank you.
With everything that's transpired over the past couple of weeks, and to come into this game and be down multiple possessions in the second half, to come back and win this one, what does that say about the stick-to-itiveness and just the togetherness of this group?
I said it last week, and I reminded the guys of it, and we talked about this. We were going to stand together, fight together, believe together. Before we ran out onto the field, we talked about being resilient. I just wanted to see resiliency and relentlessness from this group of young men, and you saw that, as you said. There's ebb and flows in the game, we found a way at the very end to punch it in and come out victorious. Couldn't be more proud. It's just a testament to these young men, guys. They are continuously showing up and fighting every single day when sometimes, the light at the end of the tunnel seems pretty far away. But I tell you what, this group of young men, these guys beside me, the guys in the locker room, I couldn't be more proud of them, man. It just speaks to them. It's really, really, really fun to be a part of right now, obviously. Couldn't be more proud of them.
If you could talk about the guy to your left a little bit. He gets in the end zone twice.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of the better passing days thus far this year. If you could talk about how far he's come from day one till now.
Who did that? 17, 29?
Davis, you a dog, boy.
He's a dog, boy. I tell you what. Davis, Bryson, I love that young man. I love this kid. He has gone through things this season that most competitors typically don't bounce back from. From just, again, speaking back to what we were just talking about, the resiliency of this group. He embodies that. You're talking about being benched and handling that like a pro, coming back, leading us to our first ever biggest win in program's history, taking us into 2 weeks of double overtimes and fighting and clawing, everything going against us, and then I couldn't be more proud of him. He is the hardest critic on himself. It doesn't matter what anybody has to say, what I have to say. He is the hardest critic on himself. And sometimes that's a fatal flaw of my man. I'm always on him about it. But I tell you what, again, speaks back to the volumes of just his growth throughout this year and continuously just going out there and executing and doing his job, not anything else, doing his job and taking what the defense gives him. So 17-29, what's that percentage? Does that meet our goal?
Don't put me on the spot.
Does that meet our goal?
It
doesn't. I don't know. To check that out, we have a goal there. So,
just one note, real quick. It's a career high in completions, and Davis also became the single season leader in school history for passing yards.
How about the
Davis a dog, man?
Yeah, I want to say that's a big shout out to the O line, man, for allowing me to even drop back and throw. Shout out to the O line, shout out to the running backs, Quay, Benny, all those guys for just allowing me to drop back. Got the running game going, and that opens up the passing game. So shout out to those guys up front. Shout out to the back. Shout out to the receivers, for making me look good. Not every pass was perfect. Not every read was perfect, but everybody around me made that happen. So shout out to them.
And then for each of the players, how rewarding was it for you guys to get a win for this guy in between you?
Man, I'll tell you, Coach Burks, man, he's a real warrior, man. He didn't ask for any of this. For him to step in with the circumstances, it just speaks to the guy that he is, the man that he is, and I think the respect level for him just raised tremendously from everybody in the locker room, and we love Coach Burks, man, and we rally behind him. It's been a tough past few weeks, man, but Coach Burks never wavered. He never gave up, and he's always been the same guy. Never tried to be anybody that he wasn't, and just did a great job leading us. And like I said, we rally behind him, and good things happen when we all stick together, and I think that's what we did.
Just piggybacking off what he said, when he was chosen to become the interim head coach, he told us that we just got to stick together. Coming in at practice, he made sure like there was no drop off from stretch to kickoff to even break. Everybody get up when it's 1 minute, get to your spot. So just having us get this win for him, it means a lot. I appreciate him sticking by our side.
Thanks.
Coach, they had run up 319 yards of total offense at the half. They finished with 400. So what was the difference with the defense from first half to the second?
I think they just settled in. I mean, we talked about it, what was that, on Monday, John, about just the explosiveness and their ability to create that within their weapons on offense. They were going to take their shots, and they were going to make plays. And every single time, and we talked about this last week with the defense, the guys never waver. They would go and bow their necks. When you got into crunch time, you get into the low red zone, you start getting into the goal line area, they start to just bow their necks and try to, obviously get them off the field. They did a phenomenal job with that. Coach Harris came in, and the defensive staff, as they're all making their defensive adjustments, and the guys just continue to believe in the plan, believe in executing and doing their job, and you saw them get after the quarterback. I think that was a big part of that second half success. Once you start affecting the quarterback and starting to get him off his spot, starting to get him rattled a little bit, that's a credit to that defensive line, Coach Pelton, our defensive line coach, and those guys creating the pressure, because as soon as you create pressure on the quarterback, defensive backs start getting really comfortable, and then they lead up into some big turnovers like my man Rico did to go seal the game. So it's just a credit to that defensive staff and the players and the coaches and everybody coming in that second half and believing and getting it done.
It's only a few minutes coming off the field, and I know it's hard when you're in the middle of everything to kind of appreciate what, anything other than the moment. But, first recruit that signed, arguably the most decorated player in program history, and now you can add you earned a win as the head coach of your program. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Glory to God. Always has, always will be the ultimate provider. He's always remained faithful, and I would not be here without him. And those are my initial thoughts, giving glory to my Lord and Savior. I've always been super thankful and never thought of specifically what would come in the future, but I've always just remained steadfast in my faith, trusting in him, and he's just always provided, for his ultimate glory. So definitely give him all the credit.
First off, congratulations, Coach, on your win.
Thank you.
I think we were working on a stat out there. You're either the youngest since like 1916 to get an FBS win, or you might be the youngest in general. We're trying to decipher that, but congratulations either way. What do you take away from tonight to build for next week? Yep. Because you still have one game left on the schedule.
Right. We talked about it, before we came out and we got on the buses. I told them that I wanted to go see a group of young men go fight, and I told them I wanted to tell them at the end of the game, job well done. And I was able to say that, job well done, but then I reminded them, job not finished. And being able to take away from this, really these last 3 weeks, you look at the culmination of these last 3 weeks, how challenging they've been, and just life outside of football and football. I mean, you're talking about 2 overtime games, coming down to the absolute wire, then coming down to, again, another drive to go punch it in and come up, on the end of it, and the defense having to come away with a stop. we're able to take away from this that no matter what happens in the game, we got to continue to trust and continue to fight. If we will find ourselves executing from the start, then going to finish it even faster, and we can find ourselves in the fourth quarter, we have the ability to go win the games close at the end of the fourth quarter. But we got to give ourselves those opportunities, right? We're going to go at it this week, right? We're going to talk about starting fast and going finish faster, because we had to start fast, and then we had the ebb and flow of the game, right? We got to continue to keep our foot on the gas. We got to continue to fight and continue to come out there and see if we can't go put together a complete game here on this last one, which is going to be tough, very tough.
All right. I'll leave this to these guys. You guys being the big leaders on the field that you are, with the different chapters that this game was, what was your message to your teammates as to how to keep them in this? Because there was a lot of ups, downs, and all-arounds, fire alarms going off. There was everything today.
Yeah. Just to stay in the moment. Stay in the moment, find your why as to why you're even out there, and just lay it all on the line for not just yourself, but everybody around us, the seniors. More importantly, man, is just to go out and fight, man. That was just the message really all week, and I think we went on and did that today.
Speaking from the defensive side, coming in, we knew they had some ball players. Those guys over there, they're good guys. But our coach always tells us +1. They might make a play, but as yourself, you can also make another play. So coming in, they had got us. They did get us. Props to them. But I just told the defense keep your head up. Next play mentality. Especially at cornerback, got to have short-term memory. So, make sure we just keep fighting, and grateful that we came out with the W.
And then lastly, I have to ask about the bling, and how long is it going to take before he gets one, or even Coach? This could look good on Coach.
So the shark chain came from, sharks, great white sharks. They're one of the apex predators in the sea. I told my mom, just want to be like a top dog, So yeah, that's basically where it came from. And them, they shark crew.
Anything else for these guys? All right, thank you, Colonel.
For Mr. Miles in the middle, to have a game like you did on senior night and to go out with a win, how important was that for you?
Man, it was very important. Prior to this week, a lot of guys were talking and know it's coming up, and it doesn't hit you until the game comes, and then it really doesn't hit you until post-game. So, building it all up and everything and all the players, this week's for you, and then for me to go out there and perform for my team, it's just a really special moment.
Austin, you missed the kick in the fourth quarter. You come back and hit the eventual game winner. If you could just talk about the importance of short memory and how you were kind of able to flush that one and then hit what is a deceptively challenging kick from that close in.
Yeah, so you're only as good as your next kick. You just got to put, whether it's a make or miss, you got to put it behind. I want to give a lot of credit to both the offense and the defense. Defense got the stop. And then offense took us down and got just a chip shot. It is a tough angle, but I couldn't have asked for a better. It was an easy kick just right there. So a lot of credit to offense and defense for putting me and the special teams unit in that spot.
Sure. For Carson, watching your quarterback Davis Bryson come along this year, and for that to kind of culminate in the game you had tonight, what have you seen in that, and how rewarding has it been for you as one of his pass catchers?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of seeing DB, grow as a person and a person on the field as well. And, we always have his back regardless whatever happens on the field. And, just giving him the confidence to go out there and play and, have a short memory, just go out there and do his thing. He's a great ball player. And I'm fortunate to catch passes from him. I think very highly of him. That I think he's a great guy, and I always have his back.
Final game at home this season. How important did you guys feel it was to go out on the high note? Not just because it was senior night, but just in general, everything going on, get Coach his first win as a head coach, leaving with a good taste in your mouth. How important was that for you guys this week?
I'll start first. It meant the world to us. You know, we got a special group of guys. You know, the season hasn't been very favorable to us, but you know, the group of guys on the team, you know, we came together. And, you know, we're gonna finish this thing. You know, and regardless of the circumstances, we're gonna go out there and give it our all. Regardless of the score or the outcome of the game, we're gonna go out there every week and we're gonna finish this thing. And to go out there and win for the last time and fifth third for this season meant the world to us and the seniors. Just, you know, to prove everyone that we don't quit. You know, we're going to go out there and give it our all no matter what, every play and every game. So it meant the world to us.
One thing I'll add to that is we had a lot, you know, even though, you know, we're getting out of the end of the season, there's not too much to play for. You know, Coach Burks did a really good job this week grounding us and just constantly reminding us that we've got the seniors to play for. We've got Coach Burks to play for. We've got Coach Bo to play for. It's the last home game in front of the fans this year. So, you know, even though there wasn't technically much on the line for this, we prepared this week as if it was, you know, the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, pretty much what they said. You know, I feel like going into these last couple of weeks, even though with everything you guys stated going on, you know, we just grew together even more than before. The bond came really close, and they always wanted to push it out for us. But not only us, you know, we pushed it out for the coaches. And we thank, you know, God that the coaches stuck with us and we stuck with them through everything that's going on. And it was just a very special moment for us to end this home game on a high note. The way it went down and the way it did, I mean, for everybody that watched, it wasn't the prettiest game, but, you know, we always stuck through it and we bonded together through it and we all fought to the end.
First off, congratulations on the win to you guys. Austin, I want to start with you because you always like to give a shout out to Jacob and Bryce,
right?
Who, because you guys say you're always a tandem and everything. So we'll give them the shout out here as well.
Good, yeah.
Kind of walk us through what that last kick was really like. You said it was a chip shot. Now, do you prefer the shorter ones or the longer ones, or like, you know, walk us through that moment?
I mean, that ball was it was closer than the 1 yard line, so it's a tight angle, but. You know, it's every kick's the same. Just, you know, get your aiming point and then trust the operation. Like I said, you already mentioned Bryson, Jacob. Got the O-line that I know is going to block for me. So, yeah, it was just smooth. I'll trust in them.
And then for Carson, what were they really showing you out there? Because you seem to be, between you and Blake, seem to be the ones that were popping open the most. What were they showing you in the scheme, and how were you able to get open?
Credit to them. They're a really good defense, but it's just our coaches putting us in a place to go win. I think play calling was great, and they're just putting us in position to go win. And credit to the whole team, the line, quarterback, and receivers, and everyone just doing their job, you know, and allowing for a guy like me just to get open, and then everyone on just doing their job. That's the biggest part of it. But so credit to the whole team for that.
And then I believe it was 319, right? 319 yards. At the half, and you guys only gave up 89. The defense only gave up 89 more yards in the second half. What was that second half adjustment?
Yeah, you know, we came in, and a lot of those yards were self-inflicting wounds. You know, it wasn't no play calling, none of that. It was just us, you know, not communicating as well and not executing our job. So we came out second half, and we just buckled down. And credit to the defense, credit to, you know, everybody out there. We had some guys go down, and next player stepped up, and we still made the plays happen. And obviously you can see that in the, you know, scorecard. And, you know, we're just thankful for that and thankful for the coaches and the players on the field with me.
Anything else, guys? All right. Thank you, gentlemen.